Despite strong objections from countries like India, Donald Trump is not backing down on his tariff tyranny. The US President's reciprocal tariffs have come into effect now against 69 nations, which includes India. Trump has also hinted that, like India, China could also be hit with additional secondary tariffs. He's also announced a 100% tariff on semiconductor imports, despite reports that US inflation has already started to climb. Take a look.
Just a day after hitting India with 25% additional secondary tariffs for importing Russian oil, New Delhi dubbed the move as extremely unfortunate, apart from unfair, unjustified and unreasonable. Donald Trump took to social media at midnight to announce the rollout of his reciprocal tariffs imposed on 69 nations ranging from 10% to 41%, saying billions of dollars are now flowing into the United States. The US president also told media persons covering his event with Apple CEO Tim Cook at the White House on Wednesday that, like India, more secondary tariffs could be in the offing against other nations such as China.
Please. Indian officials have said that there are other countries that are buying Russian oil.
It's okay.
Like China, for instance,
It's
buys
okay.
more.
Yeah.
Why are you singling India out for these additional sanctions?
It's only been 8 hours, so let's see what happens over the next.
More secondary sanctions
you're going to see a lot more.
So this is a taste of
You're going to see a lot more. You're
Mr.
going to see so much secondary sanctions.
On the India penalties, do you have any similar plans to enact more tariffs on China as it relates
Could
to their
happen.
purchases?
Could happen. Depends on how we do. Could happen. It may happen. I mean, I don't know. I can't tell you yet, but we did it with India. We're doing it probably with a couple of others. One of them could be China. Yes.
Trump also used the White House Apple event to fire another tariff salvo, this time targeting the import of semiconductors with levies up to 100%, with some exceptions.
We'll be putting a tariff on of approximately 100% on chips and semiconductors. But if you're building in the United States of America, there's no charge, even though you're building and you're not producing yet in terms of the big numbers of jobs and all of the things that you're building. If you're building, there will be no charge.
From Swiss watches to Korean EVs, and from Canadian timber to furniture, prices of almost all imported goods to the United States are expected to spike, while there are reports that inflation has already started to creep up. Goods which are expected to be impacted are electronics. Computers are among the top US imports from high tariff nations like China, Mexico, Taiwan, Vietnam, and Malaysia. Clothes. America buys most apparel from other countries like China, Vietnam, Bangladesh, India, and Indonesia. Watches. Wrist watches from Switzerland among top imports, which has 39% tariff now. Shoes. China, Vietnam, Indonesia are top sources for footwear, where minimum tariff is 19%. Alcohol. Europe tariffed at 15%. Is the main supplier of alco-bevs, including wine, whiskey, and vodka. Furniture. Vietnam is the top source of imports, followed by China. Toys, mostly made in China and Vietnam, where toy makers have warned of higher prices. While leaders of nations like India and Brazil have vowed not to be cowed down by Trump's tariff tyranny, the Swiss government held an emergency meeting on Thursday after its president returned empty-handed from Washington after meeting the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio. It has decided to continue negotiations with the US to soften the blow to 60% on its US exports, which will be subject to higher tariffs.
We also want a regulated relationship with the United States. It is an important trading partner. But today, we said that this should not come at any price. So if we have to spend a lot and still have high custom duties, then we have to consider whether that this is what we want.
South Africa's Cyril Ramaphosa also spoke to Trump on Wednesday before 30% reciprocal tariffs for his country kicked in, but he too got no reprieve. Gautam Roy's report, DD India.